Hey everyone, welcome back to the English Journey podcast. I'm Olivia, and I'm here with my co-host Ethan.
Hey everyone. Great to be here again. Today's episode is all about something really important: how to create a calm and healthy English study routine. If you've ever felt overwhelmed, stressed, or burned out while trying to study English, then this episode is for you.
Yes. Learning English should help improve your life, not make it more stressful. But we know how easy it is to fall into that trap of trying to do too much, too fast, with too little rest.
Exactly. So today, we're going to help you slow things down and build a routine that supports not just your progress, but also your mental and emotional well-being. Because let's be honest, if you're tired, anxious, or forcing yourself too hard, you're probably not learning at your best.
Let's start by talking about why routines matter. A calm, consistent study routine helps your brain know what to expect. It reduces decision fatigue. You don't waste time thinking, what should I do today? You already know. It creates structure. And that structure gives you peace.
Yeah, and a healthy routine doesn't mean studying 5 hours a day. In fact, shorter, focused sessions can be way more effective. One of the biggest mistakes people make is thinking that more time means more progress. But what really matters is quality and consistency. Even just 20 to 30 minutes a day, if done with intention, can lead to serious growth over time.
Absolutely. So let's talk about what a calm English routine could actually look like. First tip: pick a time of day that feels natural and quiet. For some people, that's early morning. For others, it's after dinner. Don't just squeeze study time into a stressful moment. Find the time that feels peaceful.
And second tip: balance your activities. Don't just watch videos or just read grammar rules. Try mixing passive and active learning. You could listen to a podcast on Monday, write a short journal entry on Tuesday, read a short article on Wednesday, and have a conversation practice on Thursday.
Exactly. And don't forget the importance of reflection. Once a week, pause and ask yourself, what worked well? What felt stressful? What can I adjust? The goal is progress, not perfection.
Also, take care of your environment. A calm space can change everything. Maybe light a candle. Use noise-cancelling headphones. Keep your desk tidy. Make your study routine feel like self-care, not punishment.
Yes. Learning English can be a beautiful part of your life, not a burden. And it's okay to rest. Breaks are not a sign of weakness, they're part of a healthy rhythm.
Exactly. A lot of learners feel guilty when they take breaks, as if every second they are not studying, they are falling behind. But the truth is, your brain needs those pauses. That's when it processes and stores what you've learned. Just like muscles need rest to grow, your mind does too.
And speaking of the brain, let's talk a bit about mental association. When you study English in a calm and peaceful state, your brain begins to link English learning with positive feelings. But if you're always stressed or frustrated while studying, your brain might start associating English with anxiety or pressure.
Right. And that kind of association can quietly sabotage your motivation. You might find yourself avoiding study time, not because you don't love English, but because deep down, your brain is protecting you from something that feels overwhelming.
So, to flip that, you need to pair your study time with good emotions. Maybe play soft music you love while reviewing vocabulary. Or drink your favorite tea while doing listening practice. Use scents, sounds, or even colors that make you feel good. Make your study routine something you look forward to, not something you dread.
Let's also address the comparison trap. It's easy to look online and see people speaking fluently, writing essays, doing everything perfectly, and then feel bad about your own progress. But here's a fact: nobody posts their struggles. They only show the highlights. Your journey is unique. Your routine should be built around your life, your goals, and your energy.
Absolutely. One learner may have 2 hours a day to study, while another only has 20 minutes. That doesn't mean one is better than the other. It just means their routines look different. And you know what? 20 minutes of focused, calm study is better than 2 hours of distracted, stressed out study.
And when you feel stuck or tired, one of the best things you can do is simplify. Instead of forcing yourself to do a full lesson, try something lighter, review words you already know, reread a favorite English story, or just watch a short video for fun. It's still English. It still counts.
Yes. And always celebrate the small wins. You understood a full sentence. Great. You learned 5 new words today. Amazing. You showed up even though you were tired. That's strength. Progress doesn't have to be loud to be real. It just needs to be steady.
And that's really the heart of this episode. Studying English should be a journey that supports your life, not a force that disrupts it. A calm and healthy routine helps you build English into your daily rhythm, like brushing your teeth or drinking water. It becomes something natural, even comforting.
And the more you build these small, calm habits, the more fluent and confident you become, without burning out, without stress, and without sacrificing your peace of mind.
Let's also talk about one more powerful strategy: reflection. At the end of each week, take just 5 minutes to reflect on what you did in English. Not just how much, but how you felt while doing it. Were you stressed, bored, curious, relaxed? This simple act of checking in with yourself can help you adjust your routine so it stays healthy and enjoyable.
That's such a good habit to build. You might notice, for example, that you're more focused in the morning, or that you enjoy learning more when you're outside or at a cafe. Those insights can help you make your study time feel less like work and more like a lifestyle.
Exactly. Another tip is to combine English with other things you love. If you enjoy cooking, find English recipes and follow them aloud. If you love music, break down the lyrics. If you're into fitness, do a workout video in English. Language learning doesn't have to be separate from the rest of your life. The more you blend it in, the less pressure you feel.
Right? You don't need to sit at a desk with a grammar book to make progress. You can learn while walking, cleaning, or even just relaxing. Language is about communication, and communication happens everywhere, not just in a classroom.
And here's a mindset shift that helps. Instead of saying, I have to study English, start saying, I get to study English. It's a privilege to learn another language, to open up new worlds, ideas, cultures, and people. That shift in wording reminds your brain that this is something positive, something that expands your life.
That mindset makes all the difference. And if you ever feel overwhelmed again, ask yourself one gentle question. What's the smallest step I can take right now to connect with English in a peaceful way? Maybe it's listening to a calm podcast. Maybe it's writing one sentence in your journal. Even the tiniest action matters, as long as it's kind to your mind.
Yes, kindness is key. Not just to others, but to yourself. Learning English isn't just about memorizing words, it's about growing stronger, more open, more expressive. And to grow, you need a calm, steady foundation. One peaceful step at a time.
And part of creating that calm foundation is giving yourself permission to pause. You're allowed to take breaks. You're allowed to have days where you don't study, but simply let English flow through your life passively, through music, a relaxing movie, or even just thoughts in your head. Progress isn't about non-stop effort, it's about consistent, intentional connection.
Absolutely. Some of the most powerful learning happens when your mind is relaxed. That's when your brain can process, absorb, and store what you've been learning. Think about how many breakthroughs or ideas come to you when you're taking a walk, lying down, or doing something fun. That's not a coincidence. Your brain needs space to work its magic.
And the more you protect that space, by avoiding burnout, by choosing peace over pressure, the more sustainable your English journey becomes. You won't just learn for a month or two and stop. You'll build a rhythm that lasts for years, even a lifetime.
That's the real goal. We're not just learning English for a test or for a short-term goal. We're building a lifestyle where English is part of who we are. That takes time, care, and a lot of self-respect.
Exactly. And remember, when your mind is calm, your learning is deep. When your heart is at peace, your progress is steady. So don't rush. Don't compare. Don't force. Just flow. Let English be something that supports your life, not something that steals your energy.
And if you ever feel lost or stuck, come back to the question, how can I make this feel lighter? That's where the best answers, and the best routines, start.
And once you begin asking yourself that question, how can I make this feel lighter? You start to notice how much pressure you've been carrying without realizing it. Maybe you've been trying to follow someone else's routine. Or maybe you've been setting goals that don't align with your current lifestyle. And that's okay. Adjusting doesn't mean giving up. It means you're listening to yourself, and that's the smartest move you can make.
That's true. One of the most underrated skills in language learning is self-awareness. Knowing when you're stressed, when you're tired, or when you're thriving. And being able to adapt your routine accordingly. If something is too intense, simplify it. If something feels boring, make it creative. If something feels forced, try something more natural.
Let's say you usually try to study grammar for an hour in the evening, but you keep skipping it because you're tired. What if you replaced that hour with 20 minutes of watching an English vlog while you have dinner? That's still learning. That's still progress. But it's also kinder. It respects your energy.
And when you build that kind of self-compassion into your routine, something amazing happens, you start looking forward to learning. It stops being a chore and starts becoming a joy. A calm, steady part of your day that supports you rather than drains you.
The truth is, you don't have to hustle your way to fluency. You don't have to be perfect. You don't even have to follow the rules, if they don't work for you. What you do need is consistency, curiosity, and kindness, for yourself and your process.
And that kindness isn't just about avoiding burnout, it's also what helps you retain more. When you're relaxed, your brain is more open to learning. You remember vocabulary better. You pick up on pronunciation more naturally. You actually absorb what you're hearing or reading instead of just going through the motions because you're supposed to.
Exactly. And let's talk about how your environment plays a role in this. Creating a calm and healthy study routine also means looking at where and how you study. Is your space comfortable? Is it free from distractions? Even lighting, background sounds, and posture can affect how you feel when learning. Make your learning space a little sanctuary. It doesn't have to be perfect, just peaceful enough for you to breathe and focus.
Yes, I love that word, sanctuary. Your study routine should feel like a safe zone. A place where you're allowed to make mistakes, where you can laugh at yourself, where improvement is celebrated even when it's small. That's how habits stick. Not from pressure, but from peace.
And don't underestimate the power of micro-routines. Things like 5-minute vocabulary reviews in the morning, or listening to one English song on your commute. These tiny rituals add up. They don't overwhelm you, but they still move you forward. They keep English present in your life without dominating it.
Right. Because this isn't about cramming or rushing, this is about creating a lifelong relationship with the language. And like any healthy relationship, it needs balance. It needs moments of fun, breaks when needed, and a lot of patience.
So if you've been feeling scattered, exhausted, or unmotivated, take a breath. Maybe the routine isn't broken. Maybe it just needs to be softer. Not less serious, but more sustainable. Because your peace matters as much as your progress.
And if there's one thing we hope you take away from this episode, it's that your English journey doesn't have to be rushed, stressful, or perfect. It can be peaceful, enjoyable, and deeply rewarding, especially when you give yourself permission to grow gently.
Exactly. Creating a calm and healthy study routine isn't just good for your English, it's good for your mind, your self-esteem, your confidence. And when you feel good about how you're learning, you're far more likely to keep going and keep growing.
So as you move forward, try to think of your English routine as a form of self-care, not self-pressure. Be kind to your pace, celebrate your progress, no matter how small, and build habits that make you feel proud, not burned out.
Thanks so much for spending this time with us. If today's episode helped you in any way, share it with a friend who might need a little encouragement too. And don't forget, you're doing better than you think.
We'll see you in the next episode. Until then, stay calm, stay consistent, and keep learning with love. Bye for now.
Bye.